I guess it's just by the grace of people like that saying, I want a lady. Somebody opens the door for you.
Somebody
but
opens the door
you
for
also
you.
have to step up.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Mwenye Inchi Monday, where we discuss all things governance. We started a conversation with Flora Mutahi on her entrepreneurship journey and leading self. But today we want to go into now the reactionary, you say, part of leadership or leading self.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now I've started a business, demands are coming, I need to expand, things are going wrong, because you can't be everywhere. I'm tired, I'm worn out, and this is the season I call my reactionary. You're reacting to everything. Staff, you hire staff, you have no idea about culture or whatever. So they come and they do whatever they're doing and you're shouting, things are not going, you're expecting them to read your head. I remember one gentleman telling me, I think you're assuming common sense is common,
Or
I don't even know.
In my head, maybe there's something you're trying to communicate to me, but
you're
haven't
not
said
saying it.
But you're expecting me to know what to do.
Exactly. And I really don't know what is going on. It's firefighting. Everything is coming up, your licenses, maybe you don't even understand. I remember a particular time where we had a robbery. This is 5 years into running the business, and we were robbed everything except heavy machinery. And we had insurance. So of course I'm there saying, it's okay, I'm insured. And I went to the insurance company and they looked at and they said, what is the value? And you're listing so that they can pay you everything. So you list, and then you realize. So they wrote and they said, but this is your cover, but this is what you're telling us. I was a third insured. I didn't even know that you're supposed to keep looking and increasing as you're building your assets. So that's why I call it a sort of like a reactionary type of leadership. But remember, I had not sort of worked in corporate. So where was I going to learn all these things? Yeah. So that's when it hit me that, hey, you know what? Nobody sets out to be a bad boss.
Yes.
You really have to set out to be an intentionally good boss. And so intentionality now starts stepping into my life.
Amazing.
And what actually did it for me is one particular day, 4 out of my 6 salesmen quit on one day.
All of them?
All of them. And they just said, hapa ni kelele mingi. And I really wondered what to do. So the next day I couldn't even come to work. What am I coming to do? And I went around and all the people that mentor me, I warned to you if you were my friend at the time, anybody.
I know, you're a very good person for mentorship. You don't say, let me take you for lunch and pick your brain. Always flow.
And I'll do that
with so
with
many
everybody.
People.
And somebody pointed me, I can't even remember, to a book called E-Myth by Michael Gruber.
And I think I remember even you telling me you're going to start reading that book.
Yes, and it was around policies, processes, vision. And you also always talk about this, and this is the intentional part of my leadership. Cast your vision for others to be able to follow it.
Yes.
So what is your vision? What is your mission? What are your processes? How should the phones be answered? When we are going to sell, how should we sell? How should we carry ourselves? And this is when I started downloading, documenting. My goodness, the file was about this big. When we started building SOPs, standards of how to do this. And actually, coincidentally, at the time, I also met a gentleman called Jerome Masharia, he's still on my board. And I went to borrow money. And I was saying, I don't have enough money and I need to build, I was doing some work for Uchumi. Uchumi had asked me to contract pack for them rice. And it was going like water. I needed so much money. So he said, let me see your balance sheet. And he looked and he laughed and he said, your money is in your business. I said, what? He said, it's here. It's here.
Where is
your
it?
Your debtors are so high.
They're not
Who's
paying.
collecting?
Yes.
I said, my accountant is supposed to collect. But you cannot have this much. I had too much money out there. So he said, listen, I'll help you put a board of advisors together. I'll be your first person. Go get another lot.
Gerald.
So he asked me, so I said, what are the principles? He said, it's what you don't have. I said, it looks like right now I don't have much. So I went to got somebody good in sales and marketing in corporate, and I got somebody also in, I think, HR in corporate, and then he comes himself. And I remember the first meeting, the board meeting, they asked me, is this organization in confusion because the CEO is lost? Or is it the industry that is lost? And I laughed and I said, I was so happy I chose the right people who could speak to me honestly. Yes, I own the business, but they were very, very honest. And I said, gentlemen, help me professionalize myself. Well, there were ladies as well. So that's when professionalism comes in, intentionality. You realize team building. You realize you have to be intentional about everything. You have to carry people along. When you bring them in, you tell them, this is our culture. Get the right people on the bus. The ones who are not fitting in, I'm sorry, this is not where it's going to work. So that is the third part of my leadership journey, where I'll say, now I'm intentional about everything. And I've gotten people, on my bus, this is how it goes. I've downloaded what I want to download. And slowly, after a certain period of time, CAM came knocking, Kenya Association Manufacturers, and said, we're looking for a lady to sit on our board. Would you mind?
And that's you're the first woman, first female.
First female. No. There was just a board member.
Oh, so you're a board member first.
Sorry, actually, no. T-Board of Kenya came first.
Okay.
So I went to T-Board of Kenya and I became a board member there. And that's when I started really understanding corporate. They would bring in professionals, real professionals. They are talking managing real managers, big payrolls. So I started realizing this is how you're supposed to run governance, the importance of governance. And of course, they would also train you. So I learned a lot. I must say that is when my governance journey really began. After my little small one of my board in Melvin's, then I went and I started learning on T-Board. Then CAM came and said, do you mind joining our board? So I joined their board and I was the smallest. I was the lady. I think Betty Mina was the CEO and I was the only lady at the time, but they had ladies before. But I was the smallest company. So again, what do I start doing? Exactly what I used to do, minimum. How many meetings do I have to go? How, completely, under the
borderline.
Borderline, just not enough to be seen, enough not to whatever. But slowly, you start getting, you need more and more. When you join an association, you start realizing, oh, I have a security problem. Other people have the same problem. So you start realizing the importance of associations and being with like-minded people. So you speak out. And slowly in that journey, I think I was on the board for about 6 years. And Pradeep Paurana of Athi River Mining, one day is caught saying, this is going to be my deputy. When you're a chair, your deputy automatically becomes chair.
The next season.
And so I decided this man, the best thing to do is to avoid
him.
So I start avoiding him.
Gosh.
And as he comes to be chairman, he says, yeah, my deputy is going to be Flora.
Imagine. So
it was a big fight, I must say. We fought hard. My problem was I didn't have a problem with being chair one day, but I kept saying, you guys, I'm the smallest company.
Yeah.
I don't have a PA. These guys had PAs, they had executive assistants, they had big businesses. I'm the smallest business on this board. And then I'm going to be with all these people, captains of industries who could buy me out 10 times over. And they just kept saying, you'll do it. And, he even called me one time for lunch and he said, tell me, what is it? I'll help you. Where are you struggling? And I said, I don't have, I can't, because remember, I'm still everything. And he said, it's time you let go. It's time you let the business, run itself.
Yes, let the business run itself.
Yeah. And, don't you have systems? Don't you have processes? Then I had sisterhood. I had a friend, Masia Chola, drove to my office in industrial area. Somebody come into industrial area, it's purposeful.
It's very purposeful, intentional.
Yes, very intentional. And all she said is something that never left me. She said, Flora, if you do not take this position that you're being asked to take, the next time they will ask a woman. It will take time. Secondly, what message is it sending? So she said, do it for the ladies. Wow. And that's what got me. I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Surely they must be seeing something. Of course, you're playing small and thinking, how can I? How will I? And but I did it. I stood out there, and I didn't go to the meeting. I must admit. The following morning, I froze, and the board meeting where you vote. And I said, if I'm not in the meeting, I won't be there. So I walked in at about 9:30 to claps, and they said, in your absentia,
we voted you deputy chair.
So I said, I thought you'd choose somebody else because I was not there. They said, no, we're very clear. So then I went into deputy chair, which is beautiful. It gave me at least 2 years to grow into a chair.
And to learn and to see what the chair was doing.
Yes, and to learn. And I must say it has been an interesting journey. And that's the journey of my leadership journey that I call stewardship. And your other question where you were saying, how am I where I am? I guess it's just by the grace of people like that saying, I want a lady. Somebody opens the door for you. But you also have to step up.
Okay.
And today my message to any woman is when they open it, please step up.
Boldly through the door.
Yeah. And I always say in leadership, it is important to show up. Even if you're not sure. I was unclear. I played small all that time. But luckily, they didn't give up on me. And here I am now being the first of yet another membership organization.
Okay. So the next video we're going to do is your many firsts.
Yes.
So that we talk about that. But I love what you shared with us. This is why we do this show. It's just practical steps on how do we make it, because the world even today, it's such a volatile, uncertain, crazy world that has even been further complicated, I guess, by the pandemic. So it's made everybody's world really complicated. And sometimes you can't see your way out. But I know that you've spoken to so many people. You've spoken to somebody who is being asked to step up to a role, but they look so small and so they're feeling so insignificant. Like, how can I do this? I love that people voted you in absentia because they saw something in you. They saw something in you that they wanted to propel forward and that they opened doors. So we've learned a lot. I really hope you're listening keenly. And that's it for today. Next week, we want to discuss her many firsts as a female chairperson of CAM and then of right now of KEPSA. So we want to talk about that journey. And then our fourth and final video will be just about what she would tell her younger self so that we are on a learning journey. God bless. See you next Monday.